Hello, and welcome to our review of the latest episode of Doctor Who, Extremis, written by Stephen Moffat. We'll be starting off with my thoughts this week, and I rather liked this week again. I found it quite scary in moments. It was an interesting mix in moments when the whole nature of what is reality and a combination of sort of science and religion all combining into one another. As soon as we had the moments with particle physicists and religion and the Pope and the Vatican in particular, I was going with, hang on, we've done that before. It's called Angels and Demons. I quite like that film, though.
You know what it reminded me of? You won't get this because you never played it. Metal Gear Solid 2, it pulls the not quite a meta-narrative. Metal Gear Solid 2 goes full meta, but I was honestly expecting at one point for them just to go around, feels like we're on a TV show. And, it's that. Almost when the moment, this is what comic book this happens, where the characters in the fiction become aware they're in something that's not real.
Deadpool's aware that he's a comic book character.
They become, but that's usually play for laughs, Deadpool.
Yeah.
This is play for because when you think about it, that's a terrifying thought. If your entire life is a piece of fiction, because you have no control over that. Some author somewhere is telling you what to do. You have no control over that.
I've long suggested such a similar theory for real life that it's kind of an off branch of the idea that whenever you write a story or something, a universe pops into existence where that is real. You've created this universe, but every single reality is a work of fiction. It's like the multiverse theory. That it's not that kind of principle, but for every piece of fiction, it is all real. People always say, because there's an infinite possibilities, somewhere there is a universe that you are Batman. Is one thing I've seen appearing every now and again.
Awesome Elseworlds tale if I was Batman.
And I am Alfred.
DC, call me.
But of course, that means there's also a world where you are Robin.
I'm always Robin. Lego Robin as well, so I'm just useless at everything.
But equally, that means there's a world where I'm Batman.
Most pedantic Batman ever.
I do not want to see that world.
It depends on what Batman we're going with. There's a lot
it's
of
me as Batman, does it matter?
How would you be Batman?
I don't know.
Would you
Clearly
be
that
West
works.
Campy, Golden Age, fucking shooting people?
We don't know. That's the
Frank
key
Miller
thing.
would be a massive racist and sexist and misogynist.
Well, as we know, Sean, infinite possibilities.
I'm just curious to how you see yourself as Batman.
Myself as Batman, I've given it absolutely zero thought.
Yeah, he says, just kindly hide in the book of notes he's made about this when he gets bored.
No, I've got no thought to myself as not as a Batman type superhero.
Not
really.
a Batman, the Batman.
No, I really liked this week. The whole nature of reality and that kind of thing was an interesting spin on things as well, which is suddenly very terrifying. As you said, it's a scary thought, the idea that we're all in a work of fiction. Although, oddly enough, I've been thinking that lately and thinking of the TV show that we live in. The ratings must have been really bad last year because they had to do all the stuff to up the ante to get more viewing figures. And all the controversial stuff, Brexit, Trump.
Yeah, I mean, even HBO doesn't try this hard to be controversial.
No, they've got the viewing figures up now. The trouble is, we now live in where everything's always... the American side of things, it's all going on. The UK side of things, it's all going on as well. The French side of things, dramatic for the elections this year. They clearly need to get the viewing figures up.
I'm waiting for the season finale, Alien Invasion, to really amp up there.
Yeah, it's an interesting time. It must
what
be
happens if we get cancelled?
Well, in theory, I work on the principle that obviously the universe continues on. It's just we're not aware of it. It's like when a TV show ends, because that doesn't mean the universe pops out of existence. It does continue because then you get like fan fiction stuff.
Oh god! Oh god! Oh god!
Well, no, because that then generates new universes where the fan fiction's real. So for every piece of fan fiction, there is a universe where that is the reality.
There's a scary thought. Fan fiction being reality.
Whereas again, it's like even kids' stories you write when you're a kid, or when you do just use imagination games when you're a kid. There's a universe where it's all real.
I played video games when I was a kid. I don't have an imagination anymore.
You've written scripts.
Yeah, I just rip other people off. Imagination.
Hey, still works. You've still created a universe where the scripts you write.
Hollywood's made a fucking industry on ripping people off.
No, I really liked this week. I liked a lot of it. I liked the way some of the lines were quite nice. Some of the dialogue.
Of course it has Wi-Fi, it's a library.
Yeah, I like that
I
one.
don't know. I was honestly expecting Ezio Auditore to show up at one point. I was genuinely... It's like, we're in the Vatican, there are some dodgy accents. Come on. No, Ezio.
Oddly enough, that's a bit that threw me, actually, when the Pope was speaking Italian.
Yes, I was about to bring that up. Why wasn't Tyler's translating it?
Yes, that was the thing I thought
Like-
as well.
like-
It took him a little moment.
Stephen... Like, Twitter Stephen Moffat. Why wasn't this?
Well, yeah, because the thing is, this was written by Stephen
Yeah.
Moffat. The man's a huge... Well, lead writers of it tend to be huge fans of the show. He is a Doctor Who fanboy himself. That being said, the writing was still very good. And we did, of course, confirm our theory, surprisingly not at the end, about who's in the vault.
Let me see, after she did not get executed.
After she did not die.
Did not die.
Yeah. She was not executed, as we saw.
Yeah.
I did quite like that scene about... I can't remember what the term was, but the thing about looking up how many people they've killed.
Yes, the fatality count, whatever else.
That's it, the fatality index.
Index.
It says, you have an impressive record. A very impressive record.
List of things.
And you can hear it beeping, the beeping is just getting faster and faster. And then he runs away. I like that bit.
It was funny. Who were those people?
People who... like, they don't worship death, but their
It was
purpose
like,
is...
great!
To,
Are they coming back, or we're just going to see, it's a thing?
I think it's a thing they just had. The whole point for them is they are masters of death, in terms of execution in particular. Their purpose is the kind of the indexing of death of all things. Which essentially just kind of makes them sort of record keepers in some ways, but I think at the same time they're record keepers who occasionally have to act as sort of the executioner themselves.
Uh-oh, Moffat's trended on Twitter.
What do you think of the episode?
Interesting. As I'm reading Twitter now, it's getting angry. At Stephen Moffat for reasons I can't be asked to go into.
What, you're getting mad or Twitter's getting mad?
Twitter is.
Okay.
100% of Britons can't wait till Stephen Moffat leaves Doctor Who when the episodes start making sense again. Says
I have to admit...
Says person on Twitter. I'm not going to say who they are, but person on Twitter.
To
Who
be
the
fair,
QI elves follow.
The entire episode was very much a sort of a situation of... So it was all a dream. It's an episode that didn't happen. And yet it obviously... But it clearly did, because it wasn't a dream. The whole thing is... This was a simulation pre-warning the Doctor.
The only piece of fiction I've ever seen get away with that ending is Alice in Wonderland of the... Because I'm pretty sure the original book is just all a dream, and it's the only piece of fiction that gets away with it.
Yeah, it is, because the whole thing... Well, you
dream.
think it's a dream, but we don't know.
I'm pretty sure the original book perhaps says it's a dream. Later interpretations of it leave it as kind of... is it?
I'm trying to remember... Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is a dream.
But, Mum, they try and play it like, is it a dream, or is it real? But the only piece of fiction that gets away with that. Everyone else pulls it like, bullshit. And, if you pull it...
Well, I've long suspected there's a missing final line in the last book of Harry Potter, which is, and then Harry Potter woke up from his sleep in his room beneath the stairs.
I fully reviewed it, and then his mother came to him, well, none of that actually happened, it was all a dream. No, the last line should be, then J.K. Rowling woke up on the train journey.
I like the whole nature of the entire 7 books. It's all a dream, and Harry Potter is still in the room at Privet Drive.
I would love to see that because the fans would go fucking ballistic.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's a meme type thing that someone said how to turn into a sad ending. Just change that.
Still make sure Harry should have died. We did, but
We came back.
Yeah, because fuck him.
Fuck
Harry Potter.
Jesus.
No, it wasn't that heavy-handed. You want heavy-handed, it's either Man of Steel or the Matrix movies if you want heavy-handed.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, your thoughts on the episode?
I like the episode. I like the whole mind buggery.
And this is episode 1 of a 3-parter.
Yeah, because the aliens are back next week.
And the
whoever they were, the giant zombie.
Yeah, that's the key thing.
I called them Emperor Palpatine. It's the
my thinking was, because I couldn't remember if this was the part of the 3-parter, because the part I was thinking of, they look human, but they've clearly been sort of...
desiccated.
Yeah. I was going to say...
I knew that word
was
a coconut.
Because they're a simulation, if you're thinking of simulation, they look like humans, but they've been eroded away gradually over time. Could they be simulations of Cybermen? I'm clearly mistaken.
You can have one plot all the way to the season finale. It's the entire half of the season is just one plot.
Well, to be fair, I didn't think this plot line would be picked up again next week. I thought the point is we've got something coming, and it would be the finale that we kind of go back to it.
Who knows? They might.
I don't think so. Given we see them next week's the real world. He says hesitantly.
See, now you don't trust anything now.
No, I don't trust anything.
This is Metal Gear Solid. After 2, no one trusts anything now, and anything could not be real now. It's
But by the looks of it, it will be. That being said, I really like Nardole in this one.
I like the bit where he got really serious with Bill. The glass.
I love that.
Like, man, Matt Lucas could be badass if he wants to.
Yeah, that wonderful moment he says, "You seem like a badass all the time, baby." Doll. Ah!
Yeah.
I loved that moment. I'm just thinking of, wow, that's brilliant. The characters, I like it. It really gives some depth and some 3 dimensions to the character of Nardole. And it was an interesting moment, sort of situation where the Doctor is still totally blind.
Yes.
He hasn't done anything in the real world to fix his eyesight.
With his sonic sunglasses.
With the sonic sunglasses and whatever he picked up, the reading thing he picked up from the TARDIS to give him his eyesight from a future incarnation. A part of me was speculating a little bit prior to the revelation that entirety of this episode is taking place inside a computer simulation. Spoiler. At the same time, as I always say, you're watching a friggin' review of the episode. You must have watched the episode, otherwise you're going in for spoilers anyway.
Not if they're in America, than when it is in America.
That's true. It airs sometimes at different times for BBC America.
Also, they're behind us. It's like middle of the day over there.
Yeah, depends which part of America.
Even the East Coast is not the evening.
No, East Coast not the evening. You're right. It's sort of the middle afternoon.
Yeah, it's where San Francisco. It's like a hell of a long way away, but.
Oh, San Francisco would be like morning still, definitely. I mean, a few hours ago it was like Central Time. It was middle morning still. Anyway, by the by, what was I talking about?
I can't remember. It is 5 to
simulation.
3.
Oh yes,
It is 5 to 3.
These
in New York.
New York. Okay.
Well, that's the entire Eastern Daylight Time.
Yeah, that's
it's the entire time zone.
That's Eastern Standard Time, EST. The speculation about the Doctor would have to pay for him taking that from a future incarnation. For some reason, a brief moment of me thought, is this the way they're getting around doing a female regeneration?
That it's punishment. Oh, that will go down well.
Yeah, that's my thing. I'm thinking of.
No.
That wouldn't go down well at all. As soon as I thought, I'm thinking of, no, hang on, they're making it sound like a punishment.
In this, they're doing just piss people off. Just intentionally to rile them up. Hey, controversy sells.
You're right, controversy sells and it gets viewing figures up, but the whole suggestion that that's punishment.
Or Stephen Fry. Stephen Moffat's going, your problem now, not mine. Toodles. Or it will be the next generation and it'll be forgotten about.
Well, people are speculating that's why the regeneration's coming in, it's so he gets his eyesight back.
Yeah.
Because we still don't know how or if that's going to be resolved prior to the regeneration. Yeah. Which would be curious if we're going the entire rest of the series with the Doctor blind.
His fancy shades.
With his fancy shades that can show some things, but
not everything. Which is odd,
yeah. Well, they show the outline of objects, and it gives them details of like people standing in front of him in terms of like their age and that kind of thing, but not what they look like, or light, as we clearly saw. Oh, look at that! Oh, yes, it's clearly.
Not that. Yeah, it's about 5-10 feet away, and I'm like,
it's a bright shining light about 10 feet away.
No one saw that comment.
When Nardole had to say, well, the Pope. He said, well, you have to get him here. he is there. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there for a moment. Didn't recognise you.
Full Pope gear. Yeah.
Interesting little fact about the Pope in this one.
It wasn't the real Pope.
Spoiler.
It'd be amazing if it was.
No. The guy who played the Pope, Joseph Long, he's appeared in Doctor Who before.
It's the Cardinal, then he got promoted to Pope.
No. It was New Who he was in. Do you remember the episode Turn Left?
Yes.
So you remember the family that Donna and her family kind of had to live with in the council house?
Yes, vaguely.
And do you remember there was the Wilf, the older of the Italians who got friendly with? That's him.
That's the Pope.
Yes.
The Pope in the
character was called Rocco Colasanto, played by Joseph Long, who played the Pope.
The Pope.
At this point. So he did well for himself, didn't he? Went from being a refugee to the Pope.
Or maybe that was the Pope in an alternate timeline. Oh my god! No.
Quite possibly. Quite dramatic, though. Because usually you have to be a cardinal or something before you become the Pope. So.
He just cut to it. And
yeah, we'll see. And of course we had the confirmation as well that Moira is not aware of Bill's sexuality.
When she is, she's in denial.
I seriously don't think she is. Because she clearly is totally unaware of the whole thing. Because when she's in space, she's totally relaxed about the whole thing, and you can see she's a lot more angry about the idea of Bill bringing home a man.
Can I say best way ever to end a date is the Pope walks in. It's just the most.
It's also the most unique situation to be somewhere where the Pope could walk in.
Yes, that was the Pope. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to go have a really impressive rant at someone.
Yeah. Oh, it's just hilarious.
And I love Bill's reply after Penny runs away and says, "I can't go after. I need to deal with this," and just looks at me and says, "You're all going to hell."
Yeah. All of it.
I really like this week. Again, I was saying to someone yesterday about how all the writing generally. The entirety of this series has actually been all really good.
Yeah.
It's a pretty high standard compared. I mean, alright, it's all good in that sense that there are no episodes that stand out, but there aren't any that sort of drop the ball either. The writing generally has all been really good, I'd say. They've all been quite good episodes kind of from the start, which is why it feels, I think, a little bit like they're all about the same, because they've all been quite good. We've not had any what I'd call like an average episode. I'd rate them, if out of 5, I'd rate them sort of like 4. Nothing spectacular. Usually somewhere like between a 3 and a 4, generally, sometimes a little higher than a 4, sometimes around somewhere between 3 and a 4. Because they've all been good episodes. We've not had a bad one yet. Touch wood. About halfway through the series.
Yeah, we're halfway through the series.
Halfway through the series.
Episode 6 to 12. That was just episode 6 to 12.
Yeah, well, 6.
As we go into the final bit of the series.
We've still got Mark Gatiss' episode with the Ice Warriors.
Yeah, the Empress of Mars.
The finale, which has got the Mondasian side of the men returning. And I'm looking forward to that. And I learnt something about Rona Munro to do with Doctor Who. Because she's doing episode 10, The Eaters of Light.
Yeah.
She has written an episode of Doctor Who before. She wrote Survival.
Wow.
Which is the last episode of the classic series. So what I like about her in that effort, with that sort of... Would you call that a weight around your neck to carry?
It wasn't her fault the series was
No,
cancelled.
of course it wasn't her fault. She is a good writer. I've read quite a few of her plays.
Not the one with the cat's eyes thing.
It is indeed.
I vaguely remember the episode. I watched it and so. Well, I'm sure that won't happen again. Who knows? It might.
I hope it would be interesting if
You
it
would
did.
just cancel. I'm done now.
Because that was the last episode with Ace as well.
It was last episode, period.
It depends on how you want to count Doctor Who the movie.
It doesn't exist.
It did exist.
No,
just
my opinion, it doesn't.
Because it's actually got a name. It's actually got an episode name as well. Because it's not just Doctor Who the movie.
The Yankee years. Or year.
Yeah, it was one episode.
Still think Paul McGann should have got his own TV series.
I think he should have.
Why didn't they cast him when they brought the series back? It's not like you can take not much continuity to worry about people not knowing who he is. Just treat him as a new Doctor. No one will care if you ignore the film. He should have been the first Doctor we had. A continuation of the 8th.
That being said, I really did like Eccleston. He was my doctor. Eccleston was brilliant.
Yeah, he did one of that series.
I'm sad he only had the one. I'm sad both of them actually because they're both really good.
Yeah, Bumgar's great if you do the big finish.
The audio stuff is just amazing.
And when he did the mini episode for the 50th, that first bit when he first arrives on the spaceship is hilarious.
Night of the Doctor, yeah, it's a good one.
What's the line he says? Where are we going back of the ship? Why? Because the front foot crashes first.
Yeah.
It's just like, done. It's simple.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's just a shame he never got his own series. But they brought a new Doctor in. I don't think Sim was nearly in the 50th anniversary. He was up for it for a while, but disagreements on certain things.
Who?
Eccleston.
Yes, well originally it would have been him, not her. We would have had Eccleston returning. He would have been filling the role of the War Doctor.
But he was up for it as well, just certain things.
It's part of the same reason that he left in the first place. It was different producers, it was about a different team they hadn't really worked with. But then at the same time, if we hadn't had him, we wouldn't have gotten John Hurt, which would have been a loss in some ways.
But give him a different role, something else that doesn't need to be.
Yeah. But as it turns out, we might not have even ever had John Hurt gracing Doctor Who.
Yeah, that Xenomorph finally got him. That's all I think of him whenever I see him in anything now. It's like there's going to be chest burster coming out of him in a minute. It's the first things though.
I miss him. He's one of my favourite actors. He all went very quickly lately.
Well, that's just what happens eventually.
I know if it happens eventually, but it doesn't make it any easier. Do you want Mum's thoughts?
Oh yes, Mum's thoughts. I mean, you forgot, but not forget. She'll go ballistic.
By the way, she's not commented. She's not mentioned anything to me about anything you said to her about her last week yet. But I'm going home tomorrow.
Oh God,
so we'll
just waiting for you.
Yeah, because for the next two episodes we're watching, I will be watching it with Mum. I'll be back home.
Mum's live riff track of the episode as it happens.
Mum really liked it. Mum thought it was very scary, this one as well. She found it quite scary in parts, but she did enjoy it. She thought it was very good. There you go. So you've kissed and made up.
We agree on this episode.
You've not had an episode where you've not agreed per se. It's just that you've had varying levels of agreement, and that was one episode, and that was last week.
It's the most bullshit politician's answer I've ever heard. We're not disagreeing, it's various levels of agreement. That's typical politician non-answer to this situation.
Mum didn't dislike the episode, it's just she didn't like it as much as you. Come on, there is still a difference. All right, I grant you, it's still a disagreement on it, but it's not like It's not like my saying she hated it. And you loved it because you really liked last week.
I do. I like when they go for the scary.
I thought it was a good episode and it was okay, and I'd be happy to watch it again. Mum was fairly indifferent to it. She enjoyed it. She didn't have a problem with it, but she was just sort of didn't have a particular impact.
Oh, they were called monks, the bad guys. This is according to Wikipedia, so take this.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think you could look at the credits for them anyway.
I didn't know
as monks anyway. But yeah, they're dressed as cardinals and monks.
Yeah, I said Emperor Palpatine is the hood and the fucked up face. It's like, come on, Sith Lightning this bitch. Be amazing.
I just want to know who the hell they are. Many mysteries left behind. Even then, a 3-parter.
It'll either be great or it'll drag on. Next week's will drag on and to kind of fill the gap with stuff. Just kind of happens for the finale.
Well, even then,
there's a lot of Doctor Who episodes like that. That's 6 parts that reached it before. It just starts to drag. You're like,
but they've all got different writers.
Yeah, that's also going to be interesting.
So Stephen, next week's
not
Stephen
uncommon
Moffat's co-writer. Next week, yeah.
Well, next week's a collaboration.
Yeah, next week's collaboration. So it's Peter Harness and Stephen Moffat, and the week after that is Toby Whithouse. Who, yes.
It's done. School Reunion, The Vampires of Venice, The God Complex, Town Called Mercy, Under the Lake / Before the Flood, and The Light of the Land.
Well, generally all good episodes, except for Under the Lake and Before the Flood.
What was that one again? I actually can't. Oh, was that the
Fisher-Price King?
Fisher-Price King, yeah. Yeah, it was alright. From what I remember, the first part was great, the second part was eh.
We liked it.
It
It gave a lot of promise. It gave a lot of promise, but it didn't quite deliver.
Yeah, the first part was better than the second, basically. Because when you don't know what's going on, and then the second part was like, it's kind of stupid.
And we found it sort of underused, the Fisher King.
His voice was amazing.
It's Peter Serafinowicz.
Yeah, like, that voice needs to be in more things.
The design for him as well was just brilliant. The whole thing is just fantastic. I loved it.
Bring him back.
And he wrote an episode of Torchwood. Greeks bearing gifts.
What was that?
I'm clicking on it myself to find out.
Is that the? Is that the? Oh no, it wasn't.
We're both scanning through the same things.
Oh, I thought it was the one with the alien that has sex and kills you.
No, that was the first episode.
Yeah.
That was episode 1 of the Torchwood series of season 1. He also wrote. He was also the writer of Being Human, which is a very good.
Actually,
TV
it was
series.
episode 2, the alien. The first.
Was that that one?
Yeah, it's the.
Yes, it was, wasn't it? Because it was.
I've just checked.
It was Gwen's first sort of case properly with Torchwood,
with the
wasn't it?
Scooby-Doo gang.
I remember that one.
They were just like, yeah, this is not Doctor Who. It's like everyone got fucked, metaphorically and literally in that show.
To death.
It's just like, yeah, the sex is up a bit. Oh, the Weevil in the first episode.
Yes, it was the Weevil.
I mean, we're going on Torchwood now. It's at least loosely related.
Torchwood's coming back.
Is it?
As an
well,
audio series.
after Miracle Day, I don't think it should come back.
It's coming back as an audio series.
Oh, okay. Miracle Day was bad.
If you ignore Miracle Day...
His redeeming feature was John Delancey.
Yes, although he was only in it briefly.
I know, but he was awesome when he was in it.
He was very good in it.
Yes, John Delancey. Do this. It always feels kind of crap.
I have to say as well for this week, it was very dark.
Literally or tonally. I can't see what's on the screen.
Alright, lighting-wise, well, it had a mix of the both,
Yeah.
but even tonally, the whole nature of sort of existence, life, death.
Getting deep, man.
It was a bit, and it was quite scary as a result of that, because it was dealing with quite sort of big, heavy topics. I really liked it.
So you
Not sure I'd call it my favourite so far. Bits of it are going to stay with me a bit more than some of the others. I mean, again, I've liked all of them. I'm trying to work out which one. Knock Knock's the one that stays with me the most, I think. Because it was a nice, simple plot, and it was really easy to follow, but it was very well written. And David Suchet as the landlord, I thought was brilliant. I liked parts of Thin Ice. Certain scenes of that can stick with me. Should we do a bit of a half-series summary, since we're here? We've obviously got a bit of time.
Technically, we have to begin with the Return of Dr. Mysterio.
Alright, yeah, so we'll start off with that one then. So, Return of Dr. Mysterio, the Christmas special. I really liked it. I really liked the Return of Dr. Mysterio. You weren't overly taken with it, if my memory serves me correctly.
It was just, I felt a bit... I know it's just found it. I was also very drunk since Christmas, so I watched it, so I was like very pissed. I just found it very kind of average. Not bad, just kind of. The only thing I remember about it was the brain thing. I literally forgot the episode. But the brains and the way they.
Yeah,
I remember
which
that.
has not been resolved actually, because of course one of them survived, didn't
yeah.
it? But having a unit soldier.
He doesn't think that. He thinks too far ahead, actually.
That'll probably appear at some point. God knows when. I quite liked that episode. I liked it for the writing. Bits of it I thought were a bit but overall I quite liked it. I liked the pilot. Bill's first episode.
It got a bit sappy at the end. Going back to it now, when I've had time to think.
A little bit, but it's an introductory story as well, though. It's sort of introducing us to Bill.
It's like, alright, keep your Tumblr fanfiction on Tumblr, people. It's just... The puddle was cool, the idea of a puddle. That was cool, but then I went... It's just getting a bit sappy here.
Well, we've said it before, the whole nature of the episode, it wasn't sort of the world's at stake or anything like that. It was actually quite tame in terms of there was no threat, there was no risk. We didn't know quite what it was about. Smile?
Oh, yeah. Smile was the emoji robot.
Vardy's. Yeah.
The emoji robot. I call them the emoji robots because they are emoji.
That was a good one.
That was good, and yeah, I'll say it was fine.
Like that one.
Annoy me.
None of these episodes have particularly annoyed you.
Which is kind of annoying because I can't get angry. It's just kind of, I don't really have much to say, really. That's how I feel. That's how I feel when you Wonder Woman film's going to be. It's not going to be bad enough for me to get angry, but it's going to be average, and I will just go,
We'll see.
It's just, Batman and Superman, like, first time I can get genuinely angry about. And
I can as well.
oddly cathartic, but this will just kind of be... It's like me and most Marvel films, just like, Marvel film, the former has basically been done to death at this point.
Back to Doctor Who.
Before I get angry again.
Thin Ice.
I like the monster in Thin Ice. It got a bit heavy-handed with its... people were racist. I mean, really, I never fucking guessed. To
be fair, I think you and I were both quite pleased at the moment when the Doctor socked
yeah,
him in the
but
face.
that was one for Twitter, wasn't it? But even then, it was like, history's been whitewashed. I went, yeah, good for you. It just felt a bit metaphorically patting themselves on the back.
I like the episode.
I like the monster and the whole lights and the Frozen and the old Frozen Fair thing was cool.
One thing I've realised afterwards, did the elephant get away?
The elephant's next Doctor.
I hope the elephant got away.
Chris Marshall in the elephant suit.
Knock knock.
Like David Suchet in it. Again, it got a bit kind of sappy at the end. No pun intended. No pun intended. Because they're made of wood and sap.
That changed the whole nature of the episode, though, as well. Changed the whole sort of tone of it.
I like the makeup on the wooden mother.
Yes.
That was like kind of cool. I like David Suchet. I liked it when he's being more into being creepy and just kind of. I literally just expect him just to slide out of frame at one point. It's like your lullaby going off.
That's
Sounded like a
alarm.
lullaby, beginning of a lullaby. Like a mobile over a child's crib to put them to sleep.
It's my alarm telling me to go to bed.
You have an alarm to tell you to go to bed. You should go to bed now. You're right, alarm. I should. You're not the boss of me, alarm. Stay up all night.
Because I have to get up very early for a flight
we'll wrap this up then
tomorrow
quickly.
morning. I've got to go to bed at 4 o'clock. I've got to wake
4
up.
o'clock!
I have to wake up around 4 o'clock tomorrow morning.
What the hell are you doing? We'll talk about it later.
I'm flying home.
I'll fly home. You have to get. It's not like you're flying that far.
No, but my flight leaves.
It was
I have to
cheaper at
be-
4 o'clock in the morning.
No, I have to get up. I'm getting up around 4 o'clock. I need to get a bus to the
4
airport.
o'clock in the morning.
The bus is about 4:30. I want to
Still, you'll be lucky around to get bus out bus 4 in the morning.
I want to make sure I'm at the airport fine with plenty of time. Anyway, Oxygen. The one
Oxygen, that
you
was
really liked
the.
last week.
I like the whole space, deadly, horror, you're trapped, suits, zombies. It wasn't the best written. They had some great banter in it with Niall at the beginning in the TARDIS. I liked it. I liked the opening with the screaming, but you just can't hear because you're in space, and the microphone wasn't working.
That was really sad, I thought. at
Yeah, but
moments
it's
as
kind
well.
of like I'm like, ah!
Well, even then, the whole thing about her saying to him that when this is all over, I want to have a baby with you.
Yeah, like, no, mind
And
that.
it's like, that's the husband and wife, but he doesn't hear any of it, and then she dies. And
Also, the
it's
episode
really sad.
tried to try to kill Bill twice, and or one
Yep.
kind of technically see it, well, not quite, but it's like okay. I liked it. I liked Oxygen. It was a cool, creepy. The suits are alive, and also got a bit heavy-handed with its capitalism evil, which is fucking ironic coming from the BBC. But But I liked it. It was good atmosphere, no pun intended. Because there was no oxygen, you see. I'm on a roll.
Yeah, clearly.
Not sure what roll, but I'm on some roll.
You're on sausage roll.
So now I want sausage roll.
Fig roll.
I think actually not bad fig rolls.
Fig rolls are alright, I like fig rolls.
Never had a fig by itself to know how much it tastes.
No, I've never had a fig on its own, I've only ever had fig rolls.
Yeah. And now we're on Extremis. Sadly, not having Tony Stark.
What?
Extremis. Wasn't that the name of the suit?
Yes,
thing?
that's the name of the. Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
That's literally the limit of my Marvel knowledge there. But yeah, I liked Extremis. I like the whole, not quite breaking the fourth wall, but almost trying to with the, it's not real. Kind of wants them to do the whole, ever feel like your life's just a TV show? Just go fuck it, full on. Make it meta. But I liked it. It was creepy and weird. And
Overall, I've liked this series. I've not had any problems with it. I've not had any issues or problems with it. I thought the writing's all been good. The acting's all been very good.
yeah, it's good across the board. No one's made me want to punch them in the face.
There's no moments of writing that I thought that's horrible, it's oddly campy or anything like that, or it doesn't
I
fit.
like it
It's
occasionally if it's done well.
It's all been quite good. Touch wood. I'm hoping the rest of the series will continue in the same vein. But we shall find out next week with...
The Pyramid at the End of the World.
Now that's a proper Doctor Who episode name.
It is,
Because I know we were talking about this last week, so like all the episode names for this one's have been like The Pilot, Smile, Thin Ice,
Yes.
Knock Knock, Oxygen, Extremis, and now we get to The Pyramid at the End of the
I have
World.
to have a long one because I'm being paid by the word. It's going to be the longest fucking title ever.
And then after that, The Lie of the Land, The Empress of Mars, The Eaters
They
of
all
Light.
become a bit longer at that point.
Apart from the series, the two-part series finale.
Still has more words in it than pretty much the rest of the series, with the exception
Yeah,
of
that's
Doctor
true.
Mysterio.
The World Enough and Time.
World
and
Enough in Time.
The
What
Doctor
does that even mean?
Falls.
World Enough in Time.
I have no idea.
I like the Eaters of Light. I'm like, cool. Somebody's going to eat light.
That's the one that's written by Rona Munro.
Yes. What it's about. Ooh, it has a citation on it. Oh, it's just not telling me anything about it.
No, it's just when
We
they
still don't know where
revealed-
John Sim comes into this. He's not in the vault. Unless
He might be in the vault.
Huh?
It very well could be him in the
Yeah,
vault.
but I thought we pretty much
Later
done-
on.
Yeah, but why would Missy regenerate into John? Fuck it.
Well, people did there's nothing preventing you from becoming a previous incarnation.
Well, technically, the Doctor did that at the end of the 50th anniversary, or at least heavily implied.
Yeah.
Tom Baker. Well, that could just be. People like Tom Baker's permanent.
Well, I remember there was apparently there was speculation on the possibility of the fifth Doctor being John Pertwee again.
Oh.
There was the idea of a Doctor could return to a previous incarnation and things like that.
Tom Baker regenerates into Tom Baker.
Tom
Fooled
Baker.
you!
No, it'd be the twist of right. The episode's going downhill. Peter Davis is going to regenerate. Who do we get him? Baker. Tom Baker.
Who do you think it was going to be? I'm back. Can't get rid of me now. I'm back.
Tom Baker. He was the 4th, 6th, 8th, 10th, 12th.
All the
Every
even
other Doctor.
All the even, it's like from that point, it's just two people keep swapping the role. Refuse to leave, and
He signed a contract. There was a typo. We can't get rid of him.
when they cost a fortune to get rid of him, which is a new contract, you know, void, paying back settlements. It's a lot of work.
Ah, who knows? Who knows?
Who just leaves. Just, yeah,
Anyway.
Hey, Tom Baker does die. Just get John Coleshaw to be Tom Baker Doctor.
Yeah, you could do the audio for it.
Yeah.
certainly.
You do the fucking hilarious those sketches. It'd be
That will be a sad day.
yeah, it will be. Well, he's the oldest living Doctor.
He is the oldest living
The
Doctor,
rest
you're
of them
right.
before that are dead. When Hartnell died a long time ago. Patrick Troughton died a while ago. And John Pertwee
John Pertwee's
died.
been gone for quite a while.
Yeah, John Pertwee. Well, none of them were exactly young when they did it.
No, well, Hartnell certainly wasn't.
No. And Hartnell's health went downhill when he was still doing it.
Whilst they were still filming it, yeah.
When they brought him back for the Three Doctors.
There were 3 Doctors,
not
they had to
really
we had to reshoot bits of it for his
Yes.
health. And of course he wasn't in the 5 Doctors.
No.
Sad times. Anyway, I think that more or less wraps up our thoughts on this half of the series and our thoughts on Extremis.
Yes.
So you can join us next week for our thoughts on the Pyramid at the End of the World.
That pyramid's not at the end of the world. I'm going to be annoyed.
To be
And
fair,
by
it's
end
a
of the
pyramid-
world, they mean a quarry in Wales. Which also doubles as Skaro and every other planet.
To be fair, that is very much the end of the world for a lot of people.
Wales. Oh, no.
I was going to say a quarry generally, but
not
yeah.
Wales.
I like Wales.
I like Wales, just not the Welsh. No, that's harsh.
Too far.
I like Northern Wales. It's got more scenery. South Wales got less scenery, but I like North Wales.
I've only been to South Wales.
I've been to Cardiff once. A long time
No,
ago.
I've not been to Cardiff.
I've been to Cardiff before they redid the dock bit. That's how long ago it was.
But that would have been before the millennium, because they
Yeah.
did it all up for the millennium stuff, didn't they?
So I've never been to new regenerated Cardiff. With sadly now less John Barrowman, which might be a good thing for Cardiff. Shit went down when he was there.
It's never a good thing if John Barrowman's not there.
Yeah.
John Barrowman makes
John
everything
Barrowman,
better.
next Doctor.
He'd love to come back, I know that.
I do want Captain Jack to come back.
He'd love to.
No, why don't? Just for an episode, it'd be hilarious. Imagine him and Peter Capaldi.
He'd love to. I know he said before.
Yeah,
But he
but
said he'd love
him and
to have
Peter
an
Capaldi would
episode.
be hilarious together.
That'd be brilliant. Anyway, join us next week.